let's look at the enemy object now. Now we need to figure out, where do they start? How do those enemies move? And in this case, it's going to be fast food items that we're trying to catch, but we'll just keep calling it the enemy, because why go in and change all the names if you don't have to? So how frequently do they appear? Can we choose a random image? That's something new. Can we choose a random fast food item based on something? So let's start with, where do the enemies start? Where do they start? At the top of the screen, and a random location on the x-axis, right? So here's where we had them before, and we don't want that anymore. The top of the screen means it's going to be something comma 0, because we want them, well, not 0, yeah, actually we'll want them above the top of the screen, right? So that falls, so it looks, so it doesn't appear on screen. So how do we go above 0? We go negative. So we're going to just go negative 100 for the y. So now it's 100 pixels above the top of the screen. And for the x, what we, or for, yeah, we don't need anything except the 100. I didn't mean to pull a random integer there. So we're 100 on the x, or the y. Geez, hang on, sorry. I'm getting myself all twisted up here. Okay, so for this, we're going to go on the y, we know, is negative 100, because we're going to go 100 pixels on the top of the screen. Now on the x, we want the random integer, and we want it between probably about 50 pixels in from the left-hand side, and screen width minus 50, which gives you the 50 pixels in from the right-hand side. So now these are going to spawn at the top of the screen, which is good, but right now they'll be off screen on the top, and then they'll move from left to right, so you'll never even see them. So how do they move? We want them to go from top to bottom. So this is pretty easy. Here is where we have the movement. So self.speed is on the x-axis right now, which means it's going negative self.speed, which means it's going from right to left. What we want is for them to go top to bottom. The right and left isn't going to change, right? So it's not going to move any pixels right and left, but on this side, it's going to go self.speed, not self minus speed, sorry, self.speed. There we go. That's what we wanted. Okay, so if it moves 0, left and right, and self.speed, it's going down, which means the number increases, so that this is all correct. Let's give this a shot now and see what happens. Nothing. What did I do here? Oh, you know what I did not do is I did not turn the this code back on to add the enemy, so it was never adding. There we go. I was like, couldn't quite figure out what was going on there, but I got it eventually. Okay, so we got to comment this code back in so that it adds the enemy, and now we're going to run that. And then now we have things falling from the ceiling. Of course, it doesn't do what we're hoping to do there, but we'll fix that in a minute. And so we are here, Now, this is important because we need to kill those at the right time. So if the bottom or the top of the rectangle is greater than the screen height, right? If it goes off screen, the top of it goes off screen, we're going to kill it. Now, we're trying to catch these, so we don't want to award people for missing them, but we're not going to end the game yet either. We're going to save that for a little bit later. So now we have all of this stuff happening correctly, and it's killing them when they hit the bottom of the screen. So all that's good. So we have where do they start? We have where do they move? How frequently do they appear? There's quite a few of them right now, but we can get that to tweak in a little bit. And then the last thing was, can we choose a random image? Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. And I have 4 images. I have a burger, a drink, fries, and pizza. And so when the enemy appears, I want this image to be something else. So I'm going to put a few lines of code right here. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a list or like an array of food equals. Okay, so I'm going to put this part of the file name for each of these files that I have over here in an array. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that in a minute. So I've got burger, drink, fries, and pizza. There we go. Just verifying that that's the right stuff in there. Now I'm going to have it put one random choice from here in the file name, which I'm going to put here. So str file equals, I'm going to make an F string, and I'm going to borrow this. And then I'm going to type the first part of the file name, which is the same for each file. And then I'm going to insert a random choice from this menu. So I can pull the random object, choice, and then AR food goes right there. And then after that, it's just going to say .png, which completes the file name. And now instead, I'm going to put that variable here, which will insert that completed path for the random file that we're going to load. So let's give this a shot here. Uh-oh. Oops. Skate burger. That's what it was. There we go. Okay, so now I have got, yes, fast food will kill you. Now that's a lot of fast food. There's no way he's going to be able to catch all that, so I'm going to have to reduce that number. But first, let's take a look at where we're at, because now we have random enemy pictures. So those are all the changes that we're going to be doing on the enemy